that was awkward.
Howdy, everyone. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hi.
I was holding my breath that whole time, and you waited even longer than I thought you were going to.
Well,
I was like, Jared, fucking hurry up. And...
I did notice that.
Yeah.
So welcome to episode 2 of our Awkward Encounters podcast with Noah and Jared.
I'm Noah.
I'm Jared. Tracy, I'm
Tracy.
Sorry for what we said last episode.
Yeah, I've given it some thought. I'm gonna need another week, so check back next week.
Oh, we need another. You've given it thought, and,
yes.
And what you've come up with is that you need another week to think about it.
Yes. Yep. That's how we keep the people coming back, not just
right.
Tracy.
Yeah.
This is not only like a podcast; it's a soap opera.
Yeah. Tracy, I think, represents the people. You know.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
Politically speaking.
That's what our fans are called. They're called Tracy's instead of Stans or something like that.
Ooh, I like that.
Tracy's. Yeah. So
to all our Tracy's out there from Montana.
Okay. Yeah. So we had a different idea slated for this podcast, but unfortunately our guest had to tend to other things. But starting next week, we'll be having guest hosts with us. Beautiful people in our lives whom we appreciate so dearly. Starting next week, coming up with different,
I do
topics.
appreciate you dearly.
Yes.
I was talking to Tracy.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna be just us two. Sorry, but next week we'll be starting some.
Apologizing. We're two dudes with attitudes.
Yeah. So next week we'll be starting with podcasts with friends / people that want to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be some fun stuff. We have some fun topics lined up for that. And now that you mentioned two dudes with attitudes, now's a good time to plug our new Instagram account.
Oh yeah,
yes.
That was a good. I like that.
Yeah, see,
segue.
everything segues. Yeah, so we started an Instagram account to post some stupid shenanigans.
Yep.
We posted the other night when we went live on Facebook to finish out last. That is at two dudes with attitude. Because what do you
all
mean?
Lowercase.
That doesn't really matter, but yes.
Oh well.
Our logo's on there. You'll recognize it. And yeah, so we got Instagram now. Fun stuff will be on there.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. And so, what was the first thing we were going to talk about? Was that that's a good segue again into it. Wasn't it just we were going to talk about what we did in the past week or what do you mean?
Yeah, we posted 2 videos.
Yes.
About 30 total minutes of content.
See, you listened to me.
I did listen.
Yeah, so
it's
episodes
amazing.
4 and 5, part 1 of 2
right.
Of Lego Star Wars went up in the past week since the first podcast went up.
Right.
So thank you for all those to all of you who tuned in and watched us yell at each other about camera angles and other stuff.
We also streamed on Friday.
Yes.
So thank you for everyone who came out to that. All the Tracys who showed up in force.
Yeah, it took us 3 weeks to finish one game Outlast, meaning one session each week. But overall, it took us probably 2 more hours than normal to finish Outlast. That was a struggle.
Yeah, that was grueling a little bit.
If you missed any of those streams, those are all retroactively recorded to our Facebook.
That is true.
So you could always go back and witness any of those shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
We're still deciding what we're going to be streaming on next Friday. So stay tuned for that. If you have any suggestions, let us know.
Yeah, and if you have anything you want us to stream or play, tune into the stream and tell us there.
Yes.
Because then we'll actually see it in real time, and we can usually give you a response
yes,
in real time.
We do respond to the chat.
That sounds like a good idea, and then we can do that.
Yeah.
And that'll make it easier than, retroactively having to see it a week later or whatever.
But yeah, thank you to all of you who have tuned into our streams. Yeah. They've been a blast. They've been super fun.
I agree.
We finished Outlast finally on Friday, and then we switched to some Apex Legends. I got real mad.
You did?
As I usually do. And speaking of Apex Legends, we'll segue one more time. We've done our recap, and so we're going to talk about our first main topic, which is Apex Legends.
Right.
The hottest game in the world.
Hottest new game.
Yes.
Hottest battle royale.
Yes.
Slated to take over the position of Fortnite, which I think it deserves, because Fortnite, it's lacking in some of the aspects that Apex has, I think, that Fortnite just does not have. And I think Fortnite at its beginning was as good as Apex is right now, but I think I think it's sold out a lot. I think Fortnite kind of went downhill more and more as it, now you can be like specific football players, and like that's just, I don't know, that there's a lot of stuff that just was so popular, that it flew too close to the sun, and
That's
it
an
burned out,
interesting remark on that.
Yeah.
Did you play a lot of Fortnite back in like when it came out? Like, what was your experience?
I played a little bit all throughout its history.
Yeah.
So I was not super into it right when it came out, mostly because I didn't have anyone who was into it, so it was just me playing solo mostly.
Yeah.
And that, like, battle royales are definitely more fun with like friends or a squad at least. And so I played at the beginning, and I really liked it. It was simple.
Yeah.
And it was just a game of skill and strategy. And now there's like 400 different items. You have to know how to use like these rocket cars and like all these different things to be able to be like competitive at all in the game. And so I just think that it was a lot better when it was just a nice, simple battle royale with, and if the cosmetics had kept going and it was just that, I think that would have been good. But, they added the chug jug and all these like different like guns and changed how the spreads work, and it just kind of, I don't know, it got too overwhelming. There were just too many things going on.
I agree with the overwhelming thing, because I played a lot of Fortnite myself, especially towards the beginning, and a couple seasons in when it really started picking up steam, it added so much extra stuff, like what you were saying.
And like the Thanos thing, like that was not just like this is for a week where it's going to be like Infinity War's coming out, here's Thanos, and it's going to be haha, this is fun, and then it went away. No, that was for like months.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was a long time.
Didn't realize that.
Yeah, and I was like, what? Can you calm down?
Yeah, and if that is true, even to that point, Fortnite, I think, was to this day is still really so worried about keeping its position that they always feel the need to add more and more content.
Yeah.
And some things where I haven't played the game in months,
Neither
I don't know where it's at right now. I gave up on it a while ago. It just wasn't my thing anymore.
Well, it's on the decline in popularity. It was, so people. So as a League of Legends player, which you'd know if you listened to the last podcast, the first episode,
Yes.
League of Legends is the most popular multiplayer game. Just up like currently, it is.
Yeah.
It has the most player base, like each day, and its esports are the largest in the world and all that stuff. And so most of the time when a new game comes out that it looks really popular, the benchmark, they say this is gonna be the thing that knocks out League of Legends.
Yeah.
And it actually looked for a while like Fortnite was gonna do that. It also looked that way when Overwatch came out, and then Overwatch's popularity dropped, and now Fortnite's is dropping. Fortnite definitely went higher than Overwatch by so much. It was probably the biggest flash in the pan game of all time, I would say. Because
Overwatch or
no, Fortnite.
Okay.
I think it was the most popular, and it stayed pretty popular, but I don't think it's going to stay popular for long. I think better battle royales like Apex are going to come out and just kind of like diffuse the popularity of, because it was like the battle royale to play and it was free, but now there's like others,
Yeah, like to that point, the first like game like that, I guess, was like H1Z1, which I didn't really play,
Right.
but Fortnite came out after. Well, PUBG was like the first really big like hardcore battle royale that existed, and then Fortnite was the first one to capitalize on like the casual, like
right,
whatever market, like
a lot of
normal
younger,
people that didn't have like really good gaming PCs. It was available on every console, free to play from the beginning. I think PUBG had to pay like $30 or something.
Yeah.
So it hit that mark. The graphics and the colors and everything like really hit, like any age group could do that. Plus it had the building aspect, which added so much skill to it, which I mean is such a good idea. I think
I agree.
Really like enhanced the skill gap to a point where like most games don't really have, despite being such an accessible game anyways.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, I really agree. Its downfall kind of came when it got to the point of like adding way too much extra stuff and really trying way too hard to stay on top instead of fixing what was already in the game, like hit detection, which is the thing I always had an issue with, where it was never hit scans. It was always like a weapon bloom thing,
Right.
which meant there was, I guess, a degree of randomness to what you were shooting. That really pushed me away.
Yeah, because especially if you want, because they tried to move it into like a competitive kind of scene with like Ninja forefronting like, no, it's not a casual game.
Yeah.
You can do it if you're like a really competitive gamer, but it's really hard to be competitive when it's random.
Yeah.
Like you could be the best player in the world, and if the bloom just happens to miss someone in the final fight, you'd lose.
Yeah. And that brings me to after I really got out of Fortnite, I switched to Black Ops 4. I got that like the day it came out.
Yeah.
Which you played a little bit with me. The Blackout mode is still considered to be, I don't know where it's at now, but when it came out, it was considered to be the best Battle Royale experience there is. And I agree with that. I don't think I'm at the point where I can say which one is better between Blackout and Apex Legends. I think overall I've enjoyed Apex Legends a lot more, but I also didn't really have friends to play with then.
Right.
But I mean, Blackout really fixed a lot of the issues that Fortnite had. You know, like, you know, had the actual hit scan, hit detection, and stuff like that. It was simple, but not
too simple.
Not too simple. You know, and it didn't have all this extra stuff, and it still doesn't, I don't think. I mean, I think they change the maps once in a while or whatever. But Blackout I really enjoyed, and that was like the final nail in the coffin for me in terms of Battle Royale. I haven't touched Fortnite in... Yeah. I mean, Black Ops 4 came out in November. I haven't touched it at least since then.
Yeah.
And probably even before that. And so now we've arrived at Apex Legends, which I didn't even know about until it came out. I don't know if it was I don't know about you. I don't know if it was something that was really announced and like had a build up, or if Respawn was like, hey, look what we have, enjoy. But either way, it's here now. Everybody's playing it. It's, you know, hot as hell.
It's very good. I like it. I like it a lot.
I saw it out there on Twitter or wherever I found it, and I was so excited to give it a go. We got our, you know, group of friends playing it. Won a couple of games, and, you know, so far I'm just straight up loving it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
definitely enjoyable.
And you are too.
Yeah, so I actually want to go back to the Battle Royale that I first ever played.
Oh, Minecraft.
Minecraft.
I knew you were going
servers.
with that.
Minecraft servers. People talk about H1Z1, and that's all fine and dandy. And I think from what I've heard, that's credited as the first ever Battle Royale with like the shrinking circle. Yeah. Right?
I don't know if it has shrinking circle. I'm not sure. It might have. I don't know.
I've never played it, but Minecraft had a shrinking circle Battle Royale.
Is that right?
In a lot of servers. You could play. Okay. They usually called it Minecraft Hunger Games. But it was the same, like, it had a shrinking area of play, and it would, and this was way before Fortnite, and I used to play the heck out of that. I would play with my friends all the time. We got, like, really good at that, and I've loved the concept of Battle Royales ever since then, but there's just never been one. I really liked the idea of PUBG. It looked great, and it was just, like, I didn't have friends playing it, and I wasn't going to spend $30 on a game that I didn't have friends playing. And then Fortnite came out, and again, none of my friends at the time were playing it, and so it just didn't interest me. So I played it a little bit because I basically said to myself, like, I got to see what the hype is about. Like, people are freaking out. And I caught it right as it was, like, coming out. So people were like, no, you have to try this. Like, all over, everywhere was saying, like, this is going to be the game. And then they were right, and it popped off. But, again, like, it just got overwhelming. But Apex, I think, has the really cool feature that none of those have of class systems.
Yes, bingo.
Of a difference in character. It's not aesthetic alone. You can pick, like, this person has different skins, yes, but they have their own set of abilities that make them different. And so that adds an aspect like Overwatch has, or like League of Legends has, of team combinations as well as your just general Battle Royale skill, which I think has it's very promising that it's going to last a long time because of that, and they can add more characters, which won't make it overwhelming because the items will stay the same, so everyone still knows how to play the game. Yeah. But you can, like, change the variety and change how the meta works and things like that. with that. And that's what like League of Legends has lasted so long, because they keep adding characters but not really changing necessarily the entirety of the game itself. And so I think that's a really like good sign for Apex, something that they've done differently that won't, that separates them from all the other battle royales and won't run out of like a novelty feeling.
Yeah, and that's the shocking thing to me in hindsight now, is like, why did it take so long for a game to come out that utilized the class systems thing? Because that's like, like we mentioned in the last podcast, I was a big Call of Duty person until I discovered Overwatch, and I loved the team compositions and like the team play and really catering to your play style and finding something that works for you as a player. And so, like you kind of alluded to, like Apex Legends has like you can cater your play style in one way, meaning you have your favorite guns that you like, whether it's snipers or shotguns,
Right.
this or that. You can cater your play style there, but you take it a complete step further in that you have 8 characters, I think total, or 10 if you add Mirage and Caustic or something. 8 or 10.
Let me see.
We're supposed to make tier lists after.
Yeah,
Spoiler
I know,
alert, so we
right?
should know this.
Boom. Are you looking it up?
I am looking it
Okay.
up.
Yeah, I think there's 8. I think 8 even with, because I'm trying. Maybe there's like 9. Is it an even number?
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But while I look this up, to continue with my point, so you don't only cater your playstyle in the guns that are already there. You then, I think, well, at least for me, what I really like is that it become like attached to the characters that I play.
Yeah.
Which is a big thing to me. I'm not just a soldier guy from Call of Duty, or I'm not, whatever stupid Fortnite skin is out. I'm not like a walking snowman with a pencil for a, like.
They have personalities too,
Yes.
like that are not. They're you can tweak them a little bit, with different lines and of dialogue that you can like have when you get a kill or when you like respawn or whatever. You'll have a different line of dialogue because you have that whatever equipped, but
Yes.
they have uniquely different personalities across the board.
Yeah.
Whereas like Fortnite, the only personality your character has that might be different is a skin and a dance.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing else.
Yeah, and it's just, that's where the draw is for me, is that it's combining everything I've ever liked in video games. It has like the really crisp, like, first person shooter esque of like, a Call of Duty. Respawn used to make Call of Duty back in the day. They made
you're
Modern
right.
Warfare 2, and I think, maybe the original Modern Warfare.
I
like it all
totally
goes
forgot
back
about
to them.
that.
Like,
Wow.
they perfected it in Titan. Well, I want to say Titanfall perfected it, but really, like, the gameplay is so fluid and it feels so great, and that, there's that aspect. Plus the Battle Royale feature, which, I mean, I don't really credit to any game in particular.
Yeah.
And the class-based system of my more, recent favorites being, like, Overwatch and Paladins.
Right.
Wraps it up into a bow, and it's just like, here you go. Like, here's this really good game that's also free.
Yeah.
We didn't even mention that. It's a free game.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right. It's free. The only way that that they're getting money is if you buy like in-game currency to buy skins,
which is just the skins or whatever. And the boxes also don't give duplicates, which is a big thing.
Right. They don't give duplicates,
which is not the case in Call of Duty.
Or
it's never been.
Is it the case?
Overwatch also gives duplicates.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, that's also not a battle royale, but just throwing it out
But
there.
yeah, I was.
They're just taking the standard model that really exists now and making it better by not giving duplicates.
Yeah.
And there's also ways to buy the things that you want, because you can just spend the credits that you earn in the game.
Right.
Well, I don't know. You can buy you can get the scrap metal out of the boxes or whatever to craft things. So like you can grind however you want to get the things that you want.
Yeah.
And there's no advantage to not doing that, or disadvantage rather.
Yeah.
So I'm loving it, and I really just enjoy everything that's going on with the game. I'm really excited to see where it is in the near future. I'm sure they'll be dropping a new character in the next like
month or so,
short amount of time or something. This
is a pretty good catch, huh?
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to new character. I'm really looking forward to seeing where they take the game. Hopefully they don't add new weapons all the time and stuff. I hope they kind of keep the same core mechanics to it and kind of build, change around that, like the map and things. Keep the gameplay the same. That's what I want, at least.
Yeah. I think small tweaks to a map can work, but
Yeah.
the way Fortnite did it, that's something we didn't even mention in Overwhelming, is the whole map is different from when it first came out. It's bigger, which is fine. Like, expanding your map is cool and, like, it will help, but
Yeah.
they expanded it, then they blew up, literally detonated different sites that were like, oh, that was my favorite place to drop. Now it's literally a crater.
Yeah.
Now it's literally floating in the sky. Like, it was just changed so much that you couldn't even recognize it as the same game as when it came out. Whereas Apex, I hope, does not fall into that same trap.
Yeah, and that speaks to what I was saying before about Fortnite, is that they're trying so hard to stay relevant and on top, that every season something in the map's changing, and whether it's frozen over and completely renamed and all these buildings are gone or whatever the case may be, they change it every 90 days or whatever, however long a season battle pass lasts, and it just kind of got overwhelming, and there's no consistency to it anymore. Whereas, I mean, we can't predict the future. I don't know what Respawn's thinking, but I hope Apex doesn't also fall into that trap that you're speaking of. And when I heard there's a battle pass coming out. When it comes out, I will probably buy it gladly to support a free game that's really getting me back into the battle royale genre and kind of making it better. You're at a very weird angle, my dude.
I'm sorry.
But
I'm definitely considering getting the battle pass as well, which is something I never did for Paladins even, or for Fortnite either. It's just something that I didn't need it in either of those games because I wasn't
playing it enough,
and especially Fortnite, I wasn't playing enough. Paladins, we definitely went through a stint of playing it a lot, and I really like it still, and I would love to play more of it. But the battle pass, the skins that they have in Paladins, I think I really like the skins in Apex, I guess is how I should say that. Like, the skins in Paladins are great, but some of them you can't even get with, like, buying a battle pass or something like that. You're not, like, you can't
some of them
buy.
are paywalled or whatever.
So I think, like, Apex, from what I can tell, all of their skins are available to get with or without a battle pass. But I don't know if that will stay the same when they release this battle pass, so I'll have to see that. But yeah, I think I will probably get it to support them because it's a great game. I really enjoy it. So one thing that it does have negative
negative. Oh, okay.
Is the fact that it does not currently have crossplay.
Funny you should mention that.
It does not currently have crossplay, which Paladins does now, just now.
Yes.
And I think that's tough. I actually got it first on computer. And I played until I think I'm like level 9 or 10 on
and
the
you
computer.
won a game like right off the bat.
I did win a game.
Like your first night of having it.
I did. I got carried. I'm not saying I'm not great at the game. We're definitely a lot better now. But no, I got carried to a win the first night I got it on my computer, but that's not the same account as is on the Xbox. So that's something that is definitely not great, but it is slated to have it in the future. Right?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yes. And it's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good because not all of our friends have Xboxes. A lot of our friends play on PC.
Right.
Or it's not out on Switch, and I don't think PS4 is on that boat yet. We can touch on that later on. But you mentioned Paladins, which is something that we wanted to talk about, and kind of like the new addition of crossplay to Paladins, and kind of like the implications of what that means for the gaming industry and such. So those of you that are watching and aren't familiar, Paladins is another sort of hero shooter, Overwatch-esque. Got a lot of flack for being an Overwatch clone when it came out, but I think it's really a different game.
It's also better in my opinion.
I very much do enjoy Paladins, and so what has happened recently, which we've already said, but to make it clear, Paladins supports crossplay between Xbox, PC, and the Switch. All three can party up and go into matchmaking in any combination of those three. You could have 3 people on a Switch, 1 person on Xbox, 1 person on a PC, all queuing together.
Right.
And that is something that we dreamed of when we were kids, when internet online gaming was really becoming a thing. really accessible thing, and like, you know, when we were kids, like the late 2000s, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really something I never thought I was going to see happen, you know, with how monopolizing the gaming industry can be,
Right.
and how competitive it is. It's really interesting that that wall has been broken down. And I'm sure there's other games besides Paladins that have really fully embraced the crossplay. But it's just nice that a game that I love and have had so many good memories of, and to this day am still enjoying and supporting. It's really great that I'm able to play that with all of my other friends that,
Right.
you know, also enjoy the game. Plus the extra bonus of cross progression also being a thing.
Right.
So
Yeah. That's something that cross play exists, I think, in other games. I've very rarely, if ever, heard of cross progression.
Yes,
in other games.
that is true. For example, going back to Fortnite, when I was playing it, I had it on both my Switch and my Xbox, and you could queue up with Xbox and Switch and PC, but cross progression did not exist.
Okay.
So me playing on my my Switch didn't really matter at all. I think my skins might have carried over, but not like levels or battle pass. Maybe battle pass progress. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But you know, as far as I'm concerned, Paladins has kind of really hit the nail on the head here. And it just, you know, I'm excited to be able to play that with everybody.
Yeah, with everyone. Yeah.
We touched on having these. I don't know if we mentioned it by name. We have Paladins pizza parties with our friends. It's I think I mentioned this. It's like a LAN party.
Yeah.
We all get
I think we did.
We all get together and we order some pizza, play Paladins, but now we can do it from the comfort of our own rooms. We don't have to meet up, you know. We can. Plus, the other thing is that it also supports in-game voice chat across all the platforms too.
I didn't know.
Which I don't know if I told you that or not, but that's also a really good touch. It's nice to have that there, you know.
I didn't. Yeah, in my head, I hadn't made the connection that's something that, like, cross play is very different from like cross partying, because that means you have a connection through your, like, Switch, for instance. You're talking into your Switch and it's coming out of my Xbox.
Yeah.
In like, and I'm able to communicate with you.
Which is really
right, which has not really been a thing.
That's like the absolute like step forward, you know, in the whole crossplay thing. It's interesting that a non AAA title like Paladins was, you know, one of the first in my experience to support crossplay progression and cross-platform voice chat.
Yeah, a non-AAA title not on release, so this is like an update.
Which is also free to play.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't mention that. Yeah,
Paladins is also free to play.
Yeah, this game now free to play, and with a bunch of cross-play and cross-progression, becomes like a forefront of this new idea of gaming, where we're kind of the console wars, and you know how the PC master race and all that stuff has been like a fight. All gamers are, you know, like, oh, I have an Xbox and you have a PlayStation. We can't be friends. But now, voila, this is like the utopia of gaming about to start. I think
Sony is not on that train right now.
Yeah,
I don't think PlayStation's involved in any of this so far.
I think PlayStation is a different console. I think Xbox, Nintendo, and PC obviously are staying social. They're trying to become social platforms.
Yeah.
Whereas PlayStation, you can just look at like the games they release are all these amazing single player experience games.
Okay.
They're like, you know, they released God of War, the new one, and it was great and a really graphically amazing, and the story was amazing, but it was a single player game and that's it.
Yes.
They released Detroit Become Human, an amazing game. I mean, just a stellar looking game. It was awesome butterfly effect single player. And these are like their headliner titles, whereas Xbox is still releasing like, you know, big titles of Call of Duty and big titles of Battlefield, which are almost exclusively multiplayer games. So I think PlayStation is trying to hold on to something, like an idea of gaming that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, which, you know, in this day and age, like I don't even know the legal, you know, whatever. Maybe I don't know if that's like a legal reason why Sony won't get involved in crossplay.
Right.
I think that totally is part of it.
That's
possible.
I mean,
I think at this point, you know, we as gamers, you know, we kind of deserve the best of both worlds. We should get all the, you know, all the fantastic. You know, that's one thing I sometimes regret about never owning a Sony console is that I never got to own Uncharted
Mm-hmm.
or God of War,
Yeah.
things like that. I never got to play them really. I missed out on that because the Xbox was always the more social platform. That's what all my friends had.
That's actually exactly why I never had anything but above a PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
I didn't get the PlayStation 3 because I got the Xbox because everyone was getting them. And, I think that's been a trend over the whole time is Xbox, their biggest title was arguably Halo. Like
It definitely was.
especially the older Halos were like huge. Whenever a new Halo came out, it was, amazing.
Yeah.
Nowadays, Halo's kind of slowed down. But PlayStation, I mean, had, again, all these great single-player titles, but never really got, like, that, this is our multiplayer title that is going to be, this huge game. Like,
that's interesting because, they had, like, Killzone and stuff like that.
Right.
And I can't really remember, like, any other game, like, multiplayer experiences really being at the forefront of the PlayStation.
They had Injustice, not Injustice, what was it called? Oh, gosh. It's been so long. It was this game where you could choose to be bad or good. Do you remember that? And you had like superpowers of some kind. I'm
not sure.
It was a cool game, again, single player, and it was an amazing game. And I always wanted to play it, but I had an Xbox.
Yeah.
But I would rather have had an Xbox because I could play with my friends in a way that you can't on a PlayStation.
And yeah, just kind of like that other side that we were mentioning, like, Halo was the game for Xbox for a while, and then for a while it was Gears of War. Those were like the two like really big like multiplayer experiences, and that was it. Like that's always been the issue with Xbox is that they didn't have
single player titles.
Yeah, and it still to this day is an issue, but I think in my eyes they're kind of salvaging that by being so willing to integrate themselves with the other platforms. And I don't even know if you heard about this, but I guess they're trying to get Xbox Live on the Switch.
I did not hear about that.
That's like a confirmed thing that...
Wow.
I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know what the implications of that are.
Yeah.
How the tech works. I don't know any of that. But apparently that is a thing that Microsoft is trying to get Xbox Live on the Switch. Which is completely groundbreaking and something I don't completely understand.
But,
Let me see if I can find that. If you can...
Yeah, no, I was going to mention there were single-player games on the Xbox that were big. They were, however, also on PC. They weren't like exclusives, which I think is something PlayStation has. Like Detroit Become Human was an exclusive. But the Xbox had Skyrim on it, which was a huge game. So you could play Skyrim. You could play all the Fallouts on Xbox.
Yeah.
But you could also play them on Steam. So like at that point, you didn't have to like make a decision. Back when the console wars were raging like really hard, and it was not real. Nintendo wasn't even in the running at that point. With all they had was the Wii.
So what circa year are you talking?
Gosh. Probably like early 2010s.
Yeah.
Like before the Wii U came out, Wii was not competing. It was a different market. It was a family console for younger kids.
Yes.
That's all it was. And Xbox and PlayStation were battling it out. That's kind of died down. It seems to be more of a back and forth. But back then, the back and forth happened with consoles, not with like years of games coming out.
Yeah.
It would be like PlayStation 2 was better than the original Xbox, and then like Xbox 360 battered the PlayStation 3 in sales and like blew up. But then the PlayStation 4 actually kind of turned it over and
ran away with
it with all of those single player titles.
Yep.
But now the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are so good that they don't need to like update them as often. So what they're doing now is battling with games, which I think is
and services
and other like other things like that.
Yeah, and before we derail too much from it, I just wanted to read this little thing from about Xbox Live on the Switch. So this is from Eurogamer.net. I don't know if I'm going to quote it verbatim or not. So basically, to get through this real quick, it's just saying so Microsoft is readying a new level of Xbox Live support for Nintendo Switch, iOS, and Android. Android and iOS.
Huh.
So it says the move will see Microsoft integrate Xbox Live achievements, friends, clubs, and game history into non-Xbox and Windows PC platforms. Um,
Hmm.
yeah. So I don't really know what that means in terms of gaming and stuff like
So
that.
I think it'll have an app. So
Yeah,
like, are they trying to get into the mobile gaming world?
I'm not sure.
That's
Because
interesting.
it's also interesting, like, it's not even just the iOS and Android, but literally another console,
Right.
which I guess is its competitor, speaking from just a complete, like, market standpoint. Like, each console is, in theory, just trying to get the most sales.
Right.
So it's interesting that they're, like, inserting themselves literally into another console.
Right.
So I don't really know what that's going to mean if and when that does happen.
Right.
It's just an interesting thing, and it just kind of further nails in the point of how different Xbox and PlayStation are now, and we thought they were when it was just first party titles versus multiplayer titles.
Right.
It's becoming a lot more than that.
I think the service war is definitely
The new frontier of the market. Like the whole. That's a whole different thing that we never expected.
I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Because I think Xbox right now is, I think, winning in terms of its services. It has these like crossplay opportunities. It's working with, obviously, being a Microsoft product gives its advantages because Macs aren't connected to PlayStation. Like,
Yep.
PlayStation isn't inherently a product for PCs.
Yeah.
PCs are literally made by the same company that make Xboxes, which is giving Xbox, I think, a huge advantage because it can connect to the people who play on computers just with much more ease than a PlayStation can.
Yeah, because even recently, crossplay between the Xbox and PC wasn't even a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until a couple years ago Xbox had their like Play Anywhere initiative,
Right.
which I don't know if you remember or not, but that was just you can pick up this title on the PC or the Xbox.
Yeah.
You buy it on one Microsoft account. And
yes.
it
I do
stays
remember
in that account. You can play it wherever you want. I don't know how that factors into like multiplayer titles and stuff. But even for their own, the same goods from the same company, that crossplay wasn't even really a thing at first.
That's true.
And here we are now, and it's an interesting and exciting time to be a gamer. And if there were any times where I doubted myself for buying an Xbox over a PlayStation, this new era of crossplay is exciting and promising. And I, at the moment, I'm glad in the long run for the purchase that I made.
Right.
Way back when I got my first job at Burger King at 17 years old.
There you go.
I've had my Xbox for, like 4 years now. And,
wow. The Xbox One has been out for that long?
I think the new consoles came out in 2014 or 15.
Wow, that's crazy.
Maybe 2013.
Oh my!
I'm trying to think. What year did Call of Duty Ghost come out? I'm asking.
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy.
I'm asking because I
can look it up this time. You keep telling.
I know that was the first next generation Call of Duty game was Ghost.
Wasn't that a big flop too?
Yes.
That probably
overall
contributed to the fact that the PlayStation 4 slapped the Xbox One, was the fact that their like release title was a flop.
Well, I mean, Call of Duty was out on both the consoles though.
It's always been, I think, at least to me, more popular on Xbox.
Well, I think, probably. For a while, Call of Duty had this deal with Microsoft where they would get DLC a month early.
Oh,
and
right.
now that's flipped. And now Sony has that contract with Call of Duty or Activision or whatever it is.
Right.
So it comes to the, it's...
It came out in 2013 in November.
So the new consoles came out 6 years ago.
Wow.
5.5, I guess, if you're counting February.
And there's been no, like, PlayStation 5.
No.
There's been no announcements about it.
Yeah, I mean,
that
so
I've heard.
what year Xbox 360 came out in 05, 06, something like that? 07?
I think so.
So,
Something like that.
those consoles lasted 8 years, 7 or 8 years. So, I mean, speaking in terms of trends, we are due for a new console in the relative near future. I think that's, not too far off.
Yeah.
And so I wonder in that, situation where we see...
yeah, it was 2005, also in November. In November in 2005,
okay,
the Xbox 360 was released.
2005.
And then in 2013, the Xbox One was released.
So 8 years.
Wow.
So we're already on 6.
Right.
And I think the next generation may come sooner than we think with the the new with 4K gaming being all the rage now,
Right.
the new Xbox, I'm sure PS4 has a console version that supports 4K. And just with technology always growing, I think we're due for a new generation pretty soon.
Yeah.
I think the Switch is set in stone for a while. I think the Switch is an amazing product that is just getting started with everything that it has to offer. I could go on forever about it. We could save that for another time.
Yeah.
But and it's interesting to think. I wonder if crossplay is going to be a major selling point for the next console. Seeing what Microsoft and Sony do
Right.
with Nintendo, or however that mixes together.
Right.
How much that's going to factor in, because knowing what crossplay can do now with Apex Legends and Paladins, I guess being my two favorite games at the current moment, and they have been, well, Paladins especially has been for such a long time. Depending on which consoles have that service available to crossplay with PC, meaning most likely Xbox, that's where I'm going to want to put my money.
Right.
So I can play with as many people I know, as possible. So,
that's wow. Yeah, that's so cool to think about. It's like we're coming up on 6 or whatever years from the Xbox One.
Yeah, we sound like little economists analyzing the service wars of the consoles.
Yeah. We didn't even touch on like split screen. I could go on for
split
hours.
Screen.
That was a big thing. That was an era that has died.
Yes.
Split screen gaming is gone.
That
unfortunately.
We can go over that if you want, because I could also go on about that.
I mean, I don't know if we have time.
We have some time.
We might have to do that. I could go on for like
We could save that for another time.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, tune in for a different episode sometime regarding
split screen
co-op gameplay.
Co-op
sitting on the same couch.
Yes. Oh.
Is not a thing anymore.
That was a golden age.
It's just not a thing anymore. We should save that for another time. I think that's a great idea.
I think that's like a really But we didn't even talk about that, which I think affected this trajectory of the games, because again, the PlayStation not only didn't have online multiplayer, but didn't have couch co-op multiplayer like Xbox did. Not at least as much.
Okay.
In my experience.
Yeah.
Like their titles.
I have no idea. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
PlayStation 2 had some. PlayStation 2 is an amazing console. I will say that.
You did mention that last week.
I think that is one of the best consoles of all time. Just with the games that came out and the way that it worked, it was ahead of its time.
Didn't they just recently shut down its online servers for good recently? Very recently? I'm going to look this up.
I think I remember hearing something.
Because I think I saw a meme about it.
Yeah. What a console.
Yeah. I can't appreciate it like others. Oh, I guess it got shut down recently. Yeah, PlayStation 2, it lasted until March 16th. That's not a thing. March 2016 was when. So online support for the PS2 lasted, I don't even know, 15 years?
Oh,
I don't even know when the PS2 came out.
You want to look that up? That's it. I had it for a long time, and that
in memoriam came out in 2000.
Yeah, so
and the PlayStation Slim came out in 2004. That's likely the one that you had, maybe.
I had both actually. I had one of
both
each.
of these.
Yep.
Okay.
I had both the big clunky one and the slim.
Yeah, so online services, 155 million units sold.
Yeah.
Online services lasted a full 16 years.
16 years.
Yeah, I doubt the original Xbox lasted that long.
No, the original Xbox was trash. I hated it. I had one, and I despised it.
While the theme is pretty much shifted to the console wars, I would like to add one more thing.
Okay.
About why I'm so happy with my Xbox purchase.
Okay.
Backwards compatibility.
Yes.
Which is something that I don't know where Sony's at right now, but when backwards compatibility really became a thing on PlayStation, it was like a cloud service that you would subscribe to, and so you played games off of a cloud, which I guess was really unstable.
Yeah.
I don't know if unstable is a word, but unstable. Thank you.
That's the one.
It was just really not that great of a service. But on the Xbox, there's a similar service between both, but Xbox has with a gold membership, which is like the standard online membership. New games every 2 weeks, basically every 16 days, you get 3 titles, whether it's 2 Xbox One titles, 360, whatever. You get those for free, right now I think there's an original Xbox game that's free. So you can go back and play all of those games. Plus, there's the Xbox Game Pass, which, I mean, I've gone on and off with trials and whatever of a huge back catalog of Xbox original 360 and One games that you can just go back and download and play. So, you know, I don't know if you can pop in an original Xbox disc and have it work on the One. I'm not too sure. It might. I don't know.
That's another whole, like, that's like, like physical technology has changed so much. Like Blu-ray didn't even exist when the original Xbox came out. Like the idea of Blu-ray wasn't even a thing. Like a high definition disc. They were doing was slapping it on a piece of glass and just shoving that in a machine.
Yeah. And yeah, that's just a big thing about the Xbox One. Also, when I chose to buy it, when I was choosing between the One and the Xbox One, I just shouldn't call it the One. The Xbox One and the PS4 was that I was able to go and play all my old 360 games on there. You know, like Far Cry 3 is right in front of me. I have, you know, all the other games that I can go back and just pop in and play. Plus, you know, Xbox never forgot their old systems. You can go back and every month there's new old games to download. Sony may have a similar service now, but at first it was a cloud-based service that was really not that good by most accounts that I was, you know. So that's just another big thing that Microsoft really has over Sony. Is the backwards compatibility. It may be a little different with Sony, but I doubt it's nearly as like robust and supported as the Xbox. And so that's just another reason why I do enjoy my Xbox so much. Yep.
I'm enjoying the Xbox a lot. I took a long break from console gaming in general, and I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, it's good.
It's fun.
Thank you, Apex.
It's the social aspect. Again, like the social aspect of the Xbox brought me back into console gaming because the PC gaming is definitely social, or the way I use it, it is. But it wasn't for a while, and now the Xbox has like brought me back into that social gaming aspect, which I like. Yeah. All right, you want to?
I think that's all we got.
Yeah, start winding it down.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
That was a good conversation.
That was.
We went off the rails a little bit, maybe. No, maybe we didn't.
We didn't go
we
where
didn't
we
plan the console wars thing.
I liked it,
but we really touched on everything we wanted to talk about. You know, just the abridged version of this podcast that you've listened to. Again, thank you for making it this far. If you did,
yes, thank you.
Really much appreciated. It's a lot of fun to do.
It is fun. I like it a lot.
So basically, Fortnite is losing to Apex Legends, in our opinion.
Yes.
Apex Legends is going to be a great game if they continue the trend it's on now.
Yep.
Jared is playing Xbox, console, whatever, again, because of that game.
Yes, that is true.
Download Paladins if you haven't. It's worth it, I promise. It's a free.
Very fun. Both Apex and Paladins, which
free.
Are both of our, like,
two favorite games.
up in the favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have a soft spot for League, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
So I think out of like social games, those are definitely two in the top right now. Paladins is on the rise still. I
hope it is. I haven't been following it too much about where it is, but I just you know, I hope Paladins shakes the Overwatch clone stigma, which I think it takes 1 or 2 play sessions for someone to realize that it's not.
Yeah, it's also that happened I hate to talk so much about League, but League did that. People got mad at League for a while for being a clone of Dota 2.
Yeah.
And it has, you know, blown Dota 2 out of the water.
Yeah.
Like, by far. Dota 2 is not even in the same league as League of Legends.
Good one, man.
But so I'm hoping Paladins does that.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy it a lot more, and I enjoy the I don't know, the atmosphere of the game, the player base, I guess I should say. It's a different feel. It's a lot.
Yeah, I found myself completely switching away from playing Overwatch to just spectating it. Like before we came into this room to record, I was watching the Overwatch League because I enjoy it in that way, but it's just not where I wish it was in terms of just how it plays out and stuff.
Yeah.
And something I wish I had mentioned earlier is just I've been seeing rumblings online of like, should Overwatch go free to play now, with Paladins being free to play and Apex being free to play and Fortnite being free to play, you know, it just
Free-to-play
feels
is
like a circle
kinda-
just kind of like, you know, engulfing Overwatch right now. They've been slashing prices left and right. You know, you
Yeah.
can find it for like $20 sometimes, $15, like brand new on PC and whatnot. So it's
Right.
just, you know, I guess we'll have to reevaluate that later on and just see where
Yeah.
Overwatch is at in terms of, you know, just its raw player base. But I guess for now we'll sign off
Yeah.
and
So
call it a day.
So just going through, I think we should say thank you again if you've watched this far. We really appreciate all the support we've been getting on our Facebook.
Yep.
We got an Instagram, so you can follow us on that.
At Two Dudes with Attitude.
Right. And then, yeah, we stream every Friday.
Yep.
Awkward Encounters comes out every Sunday.
Yep.
And then we'll have videos throughout the week.
Yeah.
As they come.
Yeah. Our general trend is, you know, 1 or 2 videos a week, stream, and then podcast. We have 2 episodes left of Lego Star Wars, and then
Yep.
we're done.
Right.
And we'll move on to greener pastures or whatever.
Right.
Not that Lego Star Wars is bad, but we're gonna play something else.
Right.
So if you have any suggestions for that, let us know. We're gonna be recording pretty soon. Probably about a week or so after this goes up.
And we may come back to Lego Star Wars
Yeah.
if people want.
Yeah. I'm not ready for that now. I
right,
don't think either
we're-
of us are.
Yeah,
but
we're gonna,
Yeah.
we're gonna move on, find something else, and then see where that takes
Yeah.
us and have fun.
yeah,
You know.
much like Apex Legends, I'm excited to see where this
it's
ends
going.
up and
Yeah.
grow in.
Hopefully
know.
we're on the same trajectory of we're not gonna overcomplicate. We're not gonna overwhelm everything.
Yeah.
So I think that's good.
Yeah. So if you made it this far, thank you. Starting next week, we'll be 99% having our first guest
Right.
onto the show. It's gonna be great. Super excited.
Yeah, it'll be really fun.
Yeah. So what's our outro this time?
Did we do an outro?
No, we bickered for 4 minutes and then,
Oh,
and then I turned it off.
I think we're already kind of doing that.
I'm on the stop button, so let's wrap it up.
Yeah, that's.
Thank you to all of our Tracys.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I like that they're called Tracy's now. I like that. Do you like that?
We'll discuss that
We'll
later
discuss
on.
that.
Yeah, that's up in the air.
You don't want to do it on air?
Jared, shut up. We're done.
Are you you
Yes.
sure?
Yes.
Are you positive?
Yes. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Bye everyone.